Hi, Paul here. Today I want to talk about the importance of getting all the flavor and nuance out of your snare drum, talking about snare drums in a real drum kit situation, a live drum set. So basically there's a lot of flavor and swing and pocket that if missing in a lot of songs, you're missing a lot of the bounce and feel in a record, which can really bring a lot of life to the overall sound of that record. So not all records have loops, and the easy fix is we'll just throw a shaker on it or shake a tambourine on it, put some kind of percussion on it to make things just sound more alive. However, when a drummer is playing, they're actually doing a lot of ghost notes and snare roughs and little taps in between the main backbeats that they're hitting. So once you bring that up, it's almost like you have a subtle loop in it, and if you have control over all that snare action in between the main hits, it can really help the overall feel of a record, especially when there's no percussion and no loop present in the recording. So here's what I do. What I do is I take, a lot of times it'll be a top snare track and a bottom snare track, a bottom mic and a top mic, and I will drag those to two more tracks, or even two or three more tracks. If there's a cross stick, that's a pretty simple thing to do, and it's pretty obvious. You just put the cross stick to a new track, or switch it on your mix session to another fader, and you can EQ it and add whatever effects you want, reverb-wise or whatever. But for all the, let's say if you have a song that goes dun 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 dun, there's stuff in between those dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? It's in between those hits. So drag those information, zoom in on your waveform, and take your snare and top mic and your bottom mic and drag those to two more tracks. And zoom in on the waveform and just cut every one of those taps to its own track. If you have snare roughs, like a ratatum before a tom fill or something, drag those to, what I do is to another set of tracks, so I can EQ and address each one of those independently with its own EQ. A lot of times the little rough taps, I probably won't keep the same balance that I have for a top mic and a bottom mic, because it'll be too bassy or too much 300 or 800 or whatever. I'm probably going to want a little more bottom snare mic and add more 3K, 5K, 12K, whatever it is that brings that to life. And I can blend that at any level that I want. And once you do that, you'll find that the otherwise hidden ghost notes and snare roughs and all that stuff, the magical stuff, will just make your snare performance come to life big time. I used to mess with things like, I try to get stuff like that with inverted compression or upward expansion, or I would use a Eventide omnipressor and use ridiculous ratios to try and bring all that stuff up. But it would also bring up all the noise and the leakage and the hi-hat thrashing and the cymbal stuff, and I'd rather just have control over that. So hopefully that'll help you out. I hope that improves your overall snare live kit game. And until the next time, cheers.